Hello students, in my today's video we'll be discussing about the mechanism of nucleophilic substitution reaction. This reaction has been found to proceed in two different mechanisms. So those are substitution nucleophilic bimolecular reaction, also called as SN2, and substitution nucleophilic unimolecular reaction, also called as SN1. So we'll go with the first one, that is substitution nucleophilic bimolecular. So what does the term bimolecular indicates here, or what does it means? Bi refers to two. So here molecular means there are two molecules involved in the reaction. So we say that bimolecular refers to the involvement of two reactants. Next is, we are studying what here? We are studying substitution nucleophilic. That means what? One nucleophile will substitute the another nucleophile or the atom which is nucleophilic in nature. So here we are having alkyl halide. So the nucleophile will substitute our halide ion. So we say that nucleophile is substituted by another nucleophile. Then the next is, here we are studying about the reaction in two different ways, and in this case the SN2 mechanism always takes place in a single step. So we say that the reaction is carried out in a single step. Although the name is SN2, don't get confused. You must remember that it is carried out in single step. And here nucleophilic substitution takes place. So the nucleophile will attack our alkyl halide, that is the substrate, and the halide is removed in the form of an living group. When the nucleophile attacks the substrate, a transition state is formed, and this transition state is unstable. So why it is unstable, I'll explain when I write the reaction. Product is formed by the removal of halide ion, that is by the substitution of the halide ion, which is nucleophilic in nature. So let us consider a general reaction. So in the reaction we'll consider a nucleophile and attack of it on the substrate. So the nucleophile will consider our substrate, that is carbon, will consider alkyl halide, that is carbon halogen bond. Nucleophile will attack the carbon atom either from the rear side or back side, or from the front side, that is what we'll observe here. There are two possibilities, either it can attack from rear side or front side, but we observe that it cannot attack from the front side. So why the nucleophile cannot attack from the front side? There is a reason. We have studied carbon halogen bond is an polar bond. So halogen will be partially negatively charged. So we have already studied negative charges undergo repulsion. So repulsion here means nucleophile will repel each other. Thus the nucleophiles cannot attack from the front side in case of SN2 mechanism. So what do we observe here? Nucleophile can attack from the rear side, that is from the back side, but not from the front side. So what will be the product that will be obtained here? So let us consider a reaction. So we observe that our nucleophile then will take our substrate, that is alkyl halide. See which kind of alkyl halide I am taking here. I am considering primary alkyl halide. I'll tell you the reason later. So the nucleophile attacks from the rear side, and when the nucleophile attacks it, we observe that carbon obtains a state which we call it as a transition state. That is, one nucleophile is getting attached to the carbon and the other has to leave the carbon atom. So OH is forming a new bond, Cl is the leaving group. So this state we call it as an transition state, which is unstable. So why it is unstable? So you have already studied carbon can form how many bonds? 4 bonds. But in this structure, we see that a carbon is forming totally 5 bonds. So which are those bonds? We'll observe here 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So because of which it is unstable. So what happens? It undergoes the dissociation, that is leaving group E is removed, and we get a stable structure with the involvement of a new nucleophile with the removal of halide ion. So this becomes our product. So let us write the tetrahedral structure here. H, then OH and H, and on another side H. So what do we observe here? Here the nucleophile is present on which side? It is present on left side, on the product. Whereas in the reactant, the nucleophile was present on which side? On the right side. So what is the change here? The position of the nucleophile is changed. And when you obtain such a change in the position of the nucleophile with respect to reactant and product, we call it as inversion of configuration. So let us summarize whatever we have discussed in the reaction, that is SN2 reaction. So the reaction takes place in how many steps? The reaction takes place in a single step. So you can easily remember that if it is SN2 reaction, it occurs in one step, and if it is SN1, it occurs in two steps. So it is opposite of each other. Then the reaction. So how will represent the reaction? So we have seen that a nucleophile, so we'll consider our nucleophile to be OH minus, attacks the alkyl halide, that is CH3Cl methyl chloride. So the nucleophile, as discussed earlier, attacks the substrate, that is our alkyl halide. When the nucleophile attacks a substrate, so the transition state is formed. That means what? A state where old bonds are broken and new bond is formed. But what about the condition of this state, whether it is stable or unstable? It is highly unstable. Why it is highly unstable? Because it is having higher energy, and as we know that carbon can form only 4 bonds, in it is forming 5 bonds. So further it undergoes what? Ionization to attain stability, and on ionization which bond is broken? The bond between carbon and halide, and we get our product, that is alcohol. So the new bond is formed and the old bond is broken. What is the change we observe in the product and that of the reactant? In the product and reactant, when you compare, you observe the variation in the position of the nucleophile. That is, in the reactant you are having the nucleophile onto the right side, on the product on left side. So this is the variation that we observe in the structure of the reactant and product. Now, next, what is the nature of the product we have obtained? The variation itself will be discussing now, the nature or configuration of the product obtained. What we have observed, the position of the nucleophile is exactly opposite to that of the position of the nucleophile in the product. So what do we call it as? We call it as inversion of configuration. In detail, in my next video, we'll discuss about inversion of configuration. For time being, remember that in SN2, inversion of configuration takes place. And the rate of reaction, since the reaction occurs in only a single step, both the reactants are present. So the reaction depends on both the reactant, that is the nucleophile, and the substrate. So according to the rate law you will be studying in the lesson chemical kinetics in detail. For time being, remember that rate law is represented or based only on the concentration of reactants. So rate is equal to K into concentration of nucleophile into substrate. So based on this, what is the conclusion we draw? That it follows second order kinetics. Why? Because it depends upon the only two reactants, that is nucleophile and substrate, that to 1 mole of nucleophile and 1 mole of substrate. Since our reaction has only two molecules, so which are those two molecules? Nucleophile and a substrate. Since due to the presence of only two molecules, our reaction is called as a bimolecular reaction. That itself is the name of the reaction, that is substitution nucleophilic bimolecular. So have you understood why the term bimolecular? Because two reactants are involved into the reaction. Then next is, let us consider the optical activity. So after bimolecular reaction, we'll consider the optical activity. So what is optical activity? What are the types you can study here? I'll discuss it in detail in my next video. For time being, remember that optical activity here, the product is optically active. So why it is optically active? Due to the inversion of a configuration. Now why it is optically active due to the inversion of configuration? I'll explain it to you in my next video. So optical activity, I'll explain it in the next video. Next is reactivity order. So what is the order of reactivity of alkyl halides? So we have already studied that three different alkyl halides, that is primary alkyl halide, secondary alkyl halide and tertiary alkyl halide. So what do we observe in primary alkyl halide? If the halogen is bonded to one carbon atom, or if the carbon to which the halogen is bonded is surrounded by one carbon atom, we call these as primary halides. Then if the carbon to which the halogen is bonded is surrounded by two carbon atoms, we call it as a secondary alkyl halide. And if the carbon is surrounded on three sides by other carbon, that is the carbon to which the halogen is bonded, we call it as what? A tertiary alkyl halide. And in this case, primary alkyl halide are more reactive than secondary are more reactive than tertiary. And the main reason for this is due to the steric hindrance which is caused by the larger alkyl group. So in primary alkyl halide, the substituents, that is the carbon to which the halogen is attached, it is bond either surrounded by only one carbon or only by smaller groups like hydrogen. Whereas in case of secondary and tertiary, we observe the larger groups which prevent the attack of the nucleophile. So let us go with the next reaction, that is substitution nucleophilic unimolecular reaction. The term unimolecular refers to one molecule. That means the reaction involves how many molecules? One molecule. The reaction takes place in two steps. So we have studied earlier SN2. SN2 reaction takes place in a single step, whereas SN1 reaction takes place in two steps. Those two steps are, the first step is formation of a carbocation and the second is attack of nucleophile. So let us consider step 1. Step 1 is formation of carbocation. So the formation of carbocation takes place. What do you mean by a carbocation? Carbo means carbon and cation means positive charge. So carbon having a positive charge, we call it as a carbocation. So we'll consider the reaction. So when the step 1, what we are saying, formation of carbocation, we'll take our alkyl halide, that is a substrate. In the first step, ionization of the alkyl halide takes place. That is, the alkyl halide undergoes the ionization to form positive ion and a negative ion. The positively charged ion, we'll call it as a carbocation. So we can see CH3, CH3 and CH3 on, and here we observe that carbon is having a positive charge plus of Br minus. So the formation of carbocation takes place here, which is stable. Why we have taken tertiary alkyl halide? Why? Because tertiary carbocation is more stable. The next is step 2. So in step 2, what do we observe? What is the step 2? I have said you, attack of nucleophile. So when the nucleophile will attack our carbocation, the product obtained will be alcohol. So let us look at the reaction. So which is the nucleophile will be taking here? OH minus. So one of our reactant is carbocation. So CH3, CH3, CH3 with the carbon with the positive charge. So carbon with a positive charge will be our carbocation. If you don't write the positive charge, you will lose the mark. So positive charge is important here. Plus of OH minus. So here the nucleophile will attack the carbocation and the product obtained will be tertiary alcohol. Why? Because OH groups get attached to the tertiary carbon atom. Now here, to understand the nature of the product, we'll rewrite the step 2. In step 2 we had carbocation where carbon is positively charged. We don't have any polar bond over here, because of which the nucleophile can either attack from the back side, that is rear side, or the nucleophile can attack from the front side. So what is the nature of the product we'll observe here? So carbon was already having a 3 alkyl group to it. So OH was attacking from rear side. So here we observe inversion of configuration takes place. Whereas when OH minus attacks from front side, what do we observe? We observe that retention of configuration takes place, and when retention of configuration takes place, optical activity remains the same. So here we get the product 50% inversion, 50% retention, which is called as 50% of dextrorotatory product is obtained and 50% of levorotatory product is obtained. Don't get confused with the terms dextro and levorotatory. In my next video, I will be discussing about optical activity and the terms dextrorotatory and levorotatory. For time being, remember 50% dextrorotatory and 50% levorotatory mixture is called as racemic mixture, that is equimolar mixture of D and L isomers. What is it? I will discuss in my next video. Let us summarize what we have discussed in SN1 reaction. So in SN1 reaction, so as discussed earlier, the reaction takes place in a single step, in a two steps. So if it is SN2, single step. If it is SN1, the reaction takes place in two steps, and the rate of a reaction. So here in that case, that was only a single step. The rate of a reaction was dependent on that step itself. Whereas here, since there are two steps, the rate of a reaction depends upon a first step, that is a slow step. So let us consider what we have discussed. So we have observed that formation of carbocation takes place and it is a slow step. Always remember, you will study it in detail in chemical kinetics, that rate of a reaction always depends upon the slow step. Slow step determines the order of the reaction. So here we observe that we are having only one molecule, and hence we also call it as unimolecular reaction. So the slow step, that is alkyl halide, the molecule which is present in step 1 is alkyl halide. Rate of a reaction depends only on the alkyl halide but not on the nucleophile and on one molecule. Thus, what is a conclusion we draw here? Thus, the rate of a reaction or the rate equation which can be written here is, or it is dependent on step 1, and it is written as, so rate depends on reactants only. Since it is a slow step, it depends on only the first step. So rate is equal to K into concentration of the reactant, that is our alkyl halide, only one reactant. So what is the order it follows? It follows first order kinetics. So what is the order of the reaction? It is a first order reaction. Order of reaction is 1. Thus it follows first order kinetics. Then let us discuss the molecularity. Since the rate determining step has only one molecule, that is alkyl halide, the molecularity of the reaction will be unimolecular reaction. That's why the name of the reaction is SN1, that is substitution nucleophilic unimolecular reaction. Next is the nature of the product obtained. So in the previous one, what was the nature of the product? Inversion of configuration takes place, whereas here we see that the product obtained is racemic mixture. That means what? 50% undergoes inversion, 50% retention, that is 50% dextrorotatory and 50% levorotatory, which we call it as a racemic mixture. We'll discuss it in detail in the next video. What about the optical activity? Racemic mixture are always optically inactive. Remember this, even about this we'll discuss it in my next video. So the product obtained here will be optically inactive. Then let us consider the order of reactivity. What was the order of reactivity in SN2? Primary alkyl halide were more reactive than secondary, and secondary were more reactive than tertiary. Why? Because of the steric hindrance caused in secondary and tertiary, the reactivity is less. Here the tertiary alkyl halide are more reactive than the secondary alkyl halide, and the secondary alkyl halide are more reactive than primary. Why? Because here formation of carbocation takes place, and tertiary carbocation are more stable than secondary and secondary than primary. As you have studied in FUC 1 that tertiary carbocation is more stable than secondary, secondary than primary. Thus the order of. So note down the difference between SN1 and SN2 reaction. So in SN1 reaction, molecularity is unimolecular. In SN2 it is bimolecular. Order of reaction is, it follows first order kinetics, whereas SN2 follows second order kinetics. In SN1 reaction, product obtained is a racemic mixture, whereas in SN2 inversion of configuration takes place. Optical activity, the product is optically inactive in SN1, whereas in SN2 it is optically active. We will discuss about this in my next video. The order of reactivity in case of SN1, tertiary alkyl halides are more reactive than secondary alkyl halides. Secondary alkyl halides are more reactive than primary alkyl halides. Whereas in case of SN2 reaction, primary alkyl halides are more reactive than secondary, secondary than tertiary. I hope you found this video useful. Thank you for watching. Please like, share and subscribe.